Hello and welcome. You know, if you've ever felt that wild mix of pure excitement and, let's be honest, sheer panic when planning a trip with your kids, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we are going to dive into how to turn that stress into a genuinely joyful adventure. We'll start with some simple, brilliant hacks and then zoom out to a much bigger, amazing idea about how we design our entire world. Okay, let's get into it. So, the time has come. You're planning that first big trip with your little one. On one hand, you're picturing all these incredible, heartwarming memories you're about to make. And on the other hand, you might be having visions of something a little less perfect. It's a completely normal mix of feelings, for sure. And hey, you are not alone in feeling that way. I love this quote from the Motherhood Center because it's so true. Even the most seasoned adventurers get a little nervous. The fear is real. I mean, you've worked so hard to get that sleep schedule down at home, right? The thought of sleepless nights, airport meltdowns, and totally wrecking that precious routine is enough to make anyone a little anxious. Okay, so we've established the anxiety is very, very real. But don't you worry. We are going to move right from the problem to the solutions. Let's kick things off with some practical, use it tomorrow parenting hacks that can make your next journey so much smoother for everyone involved. You know, what's so great about this advice from the travel blog Trips with Tykes is that it's all about balance, not perfection. The goal isn't to perfectly copy your home routine. That's just impossible. Instead, just aim for one good solid nap a day in a crib. Then let that other nap happen on the go, in a stroller or a carrier while you're out exploring. Try to stick to bedtime most nights, but hey, use those time zone changes to your advantage and maybe stay out a little later. And my absolute favorite tip, don't stress. They say babies can smell fear, and if you're relaxed, they are way more likely to be relaxed. So really, it all boils down to this. At home, your schedule is probably pretty rigid, super predictable. But on vacation, the winning move is to be flexible and adaptive. You're not just throwing the whole routine out the window, you're just bending it to fit the adventure. It's all about finding a new, temporary rhythm that works for the whole family. All right, so those are things we can do, things we can control. But what if the places we visit could actually, help us out? Let's build on this idea and shift from our personal strategies to looking at spaces that are intentionally designed to support families on the go. Check out this absolutely fantastic concept from the Missouri Botanical Garden, the Calming Corner. It is exactly what it sounds like, a quiet, comfy room, probably with some soft lighting and calming activities. It's this dedicated space where a child who's feeling totally overstimulated can take a break, or where a parent can just have a peaceful moment to feed their baby. It's basically a little sanctuary. And this is what's so brilliant about it. A small design choice can have a massive impact. A calming corner isn't just for a mom with a baby. It's a huge help for children with autism or sensory sensitivities. It's for toddlers who are just plain exhausted. And let's be real, it's for literally anyone who's ever felt a little overwhelmed in a new, busy place. It's such a simple idea with these incredibly inclusive benefits. So think about this. If we can design one single room to be more inclusive, what happens when we apply that same thinking to, well, everything else? Let's zoom way out and explore a philosophy that can totally change how we design our public spaces, especially the great outdoors. And this brings us to this really powerful concept called universal design. Now, the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department uses this definition, and it's perfect. It's all about making things usable by all people right from the very beginning, without needing some special adaptation or a separate specialized design. It's not an add-on, it's the foundation. And this is what it looks like out in the real world. This beautiful boardwalk isn't just a wheelchair ramp. No way. It's a path that a person in a wheelchair, a parent pushing a stroller, a toddler who's just learning to walk, and an older person with a cane can all use together to experience the very same gorgeous view. That is universal design in action. Now, this whole philosophy is guided by 7 core principles. So, equitable use, for example, just means the design is useful for people with all kinds of different abilities. Flexibility in use means it works for a wide range of preferences. And low physical effort means you can use it comfortably without getting exhausted. It's a really deep, thoughtful way of building true inclusivity into our world. I mean, just look at this. This paved path doesn't take away from the rugged, natural beauty of the coast one bit. What it does is make that beauty accessible to so many more people. It just proves that creating spectacular, unforgettable experiences and making sure everyone has access can and absolutely should go hand in hand. So, we've seen how universal design can open up physical spaces, right? Making them more accessible. But now let's explore one of the most beautiful and immersive ways these inclusive ideas are used, one that goes beyond just mobility and really engages our entire being. Enter the sensory garden. This is a space that's intentionally designed to just light up all of our senses. It's an experience that's about way more than what you can see. It's about what you hear, what you smell, what you can touch, and sometimes even what you can taste. It is interactive and inclusive by its very nature. And here's how it works. For sight, you've got these vibrant colors and interesting shapes from flowers and grasses. For sound, maybe you hear wind chimes, or the rustle of bamboo, or the gentle sound of a water feature. Smell, that comes from fragrant herbs like rosemary. Touch gets engaged with things like soft, fuzzy lamb's ear leaves or the rough bark of a tree. And for taste, you might even find edible herbs or berries. It creates this rich, multi-layered world that just invites everyone in, no matter their abilities. Okay, wow, we have covered a lot of ground here, from simple nap schedules all the way to these huge design philosophies. So now let's bring all these big ideas right back down to earth and talk about how you can actually use them to plan your next family adventure. So here it is. Think of this as your new travel planning checklist. When you're researching, look for destinations that just naturally allow for a slower pace. Check if museums or botanical gardens mention having quiet rooms or calming corners. Go to park websites and look for photos of paved paths or accessible boardwalks. See if there are any sensory gardens nearby. You'll find that the more you start looking for these features, the more you'll find them, and the better your trip will be. And that's really the heart of it all. It all starts with something as small and personal as a travel hack to keep your own family sane. But that one small need connects to a much, much bigger idea. That when we design our world with everyone in mind, it doesn't limit the adventure, it actually expands it for every single one of us. So, as you go about your day and as you start dreaming about your next trip, I'll leave you with this question to think about. How can we, in both big and small ways, design more of our world to truly, genuinely welcome everyone? Thanks so much for joining me.